What's up, Art of Construction tribe? Devin Tilley here. In this video, I am so excited to share with you all. We just finished our first Art of Construction Master Facilitators Retreat right here at Valhalla. Huge shout out to Russell McLennan who hosted us, and we've had a couple of days. And what I asked everybody to do to begin with the end in mind is a couple questions. And you're gonna have everybody, the people that are here, a few of them answering those questions for you on the camera. But first, the question that I'm gonna be that they're gonna answering is, why did they join? But first, why did I start the Art of Construction Master Facilitators? And the reason is that construction has so much stuff that needs to be changed. And from the podcast or the Kindling, we've had over 300 podcasts with so many great stories that now we want to unpack those a little bit more. And that's really how the Art of Construction Master Facilitators was born. And the other question I want everybody to answer is, what is one thing that you want to change in this industry? And shout out to Steve McFall, who's going to be one of the he talked about predictive design. And I get these talking tracks as we all come together to say words matter and how you share that story. And for me, what I really want to change is that we're actually physically building from the digital build, which sounds simple, but it's a lot harder to do. And my one big takeaway from this first retreat is that it really is that hard to do. So without further ado, let's hear some stories from the Art of Construction Master Facilitators here in the beautiful rainforest of Colorado today.
I joined to learn from others in the community and to kind of gain insight and perspective from people that have different stories and experiences, and so that I could learn ways to apply that to my life and business.
I joined the Master Facilitators community to really build connections with really smart people and like-minded people to help change the industry and move it forward.
I joined this community so that I could basically be around a bunch of other people that are trying to be innovative and create change in this industry that needs a lot of change, and also try to create a better experience for kind of everyone involved. It's a very combative, intense, and stressful industry, and I would love to change that so it's more collaborative.
Okay. Yeah, I joined the Master Facilitators just to be around a group of like-minded people who were lifelong learners and people who like to disrupt and creative thinking.
So I joined because of Russell McLennan. He's got one of the most amazing hearts that I've ever seen and experienced, and he's just a true gentleman, and just the change that he wants to install, just with everything he does and everything he touches, is just something that's really respectful and something that I really look up to a lot.
I joined the MFers because I want to create a show on HGTV or Magnolia Networks that's called Sub Wars, and it shows all the different construction process and the problems that go along with building.
I joined the Master Facilitator community because I was introduced by a now client of ours, to Devin Tilley, and ultimately determined that I was likely to learn something and come upon more than I knew then, or more than I knew yesterday, by way of interacting with Devin and meeting others.
To really spend some time, to really spend some time with people that know a lot about building and their skill and expertise, and get around and just be able to really take the opportunity to learn from them.
I joined the Master Facilitator community to network with some other industry leaders and find new ways to innovate in the industry moving forward.
Thing I'd really like to be able to change with the construction industry is to help simplify everything. Construction is way too complicated, and we need to figure out a way to make it simple.
I'd love to see more collaboration between the design side of the business and the supply side of the business, and kind of those sectors working together better.
So the one thing I think I want to change with this platform is really to align all the players that are on a project. I think if we can get everyone having the same goals, then I think that's just going to create an efficiency in itself.
And just sort of more of a reliable quantification of the entire process, so that being an architect and a designer and creator, being able to understand like the financial implications of all the design decisions and gestures that I'm making.
So I would just like to see where kindness becomes the norm. I feel like we're in a society where people are very defensive, especially when you do some sort of act of kindness for a stranger, for example. A lot of people unfortunately think that you're trying to get something from them and so on. And I feel like with all of us together, we could really implement that change.
I want to use this platform on our new network show called Sub Wars to bring education to the changes that can come from people working together collaboratively.
One thing that I'd like to change is I'd like to change the entitlement and streamline the kind of the process that has to do with getting a project up and going.
We build off-site built framing components, and what I want to see is the advancement of that technology in an aggregate sense, as well as for our own business, and to learn what else was available or the market sought to accomplish as part of off-site built components and off-site built processes.
One thing I would like to change in the industry through this platform is really to help advance the integrated design process.
One takeaway from our meetup is we've got a lot of smart people in this group, and it's fun to hang around them, network with them, and really pick their brains and learn from a lot of other smart people.
There's a lot of work to be done to improve the construction industry, but I think the exciting part is there are a lot of people that want to kind of put in that hard work to get it done. So the next several years should be pretty interesting.
The one takeaway from the meetup this last day and a half was really that there's a lot of small changes that can happen that can create a really big change, and I think there's a lot of people trying to make these humongous changes across the industry, and I think if we just take the logical ones, the small ones that would create little efficiencies, I think that's going to be a lot more successful approach.
Yeah, the one takeaway is I think with this group here, we have the right people in the right seats, and I think we've got everyone that we need in the room in order to disrupt the construction industry and really make some things happen. Because at the end of the day, you know, my personal belief is that shelter is like a basic human need, and so I think this group can really make some strides towards making housing with dignity available for everybody.
For me, it was just excitement. I mean, there's so much to look forward to, and I mean, bringing all of us men together, there's a lot of change that we could implement together, and I feel like that's something to be incredibly excited for. I mean, I feel like we're all stronger together than we are individually, so there's a lot to look forward to, and really can't wait for what the future holds.
What I did through this last couple of days is I realized how everybody can come together and play a valuable role in Sub Wars. So we have all of our actors lined up now.
The big takeaway I have from the meetup is that there's a lot of people out there with a lot to contribute, considerations from others that I'd never come up with, nor had my staff. So there's a lot to gain just by interacting with other professionals in the construction industry.
One takeaway I had from the group meetup was it's just a great bunch of guys that have an extremely large amount of knowledge in their fields, and so it was really enjoyable to just sit down and listen to them talk, and the brainstorming sessions were priceless.
Meetup.
One takeaway
I have from this meetup is just there's a tremendous amount of opportunity in the industry to work together and to collaborate and to innovate moving forward. And it's a great industry that's really looking for strong leaders to help it advance.